Hello and welcome to today's workshop, Sell Online with E-commerce Tools, hosted by Grow with Google. Grow with Google helps people grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free digital skills training and tools. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Stasia. I'm the lead trainer for Grow with Google, and I'm so excited that you're with us here today. Let's cover some logistics. At the top of the screen, you see two links, Watch and Resources. You can go back and forth. Watch gets you here to this presentation. If you click Resources, I recommend opening it in another tab. It'll take you to a separate page where you can download supplementary materials, including a handout with links to the products that we cover today. There's also an optional follow-along guide. The guide offers a closer look at some of the screenshots in today's presentation. As we go through the slides, look for a green callout at the bottom left corner. That will tell you the corresponding page number in the follow-along guide. If you'd like to turn on closed captioning, click the button labeled CC on the video player on the bottom of your screen. After the presentation, my colleague Basim will join and answer some of the most frequently asked questions. You'll be able to access a replay of this workshop by clicking On Demand on the Grow with Google on-air website. And finally, if you're watching now and you want to share on social media, please use the hashtags Grow with Google and Support Small Business. In today's workshop, I'll explain why it's critical for retailers to sell online. But of course, potential customers need to be able to find your products too. To help with that, I'll start by talking about two Google products, Google My Business and Google Merchant Center. After that, I'll pass the presentation over to Tarek, and he will introduce you to one e-commerce tool, Shopify, and he'll show you the basics of setting up an e-commerce website. I'll close up the workshop with a quick recap and more resources. Let's get started. Every day, hundreds of millions of people turn to Google to find, discover, and shop. And not just Google search. People are looking when they browse Google News feeds, when they watch YouTube videos, or check Gmail. More than ever, it's important that customers can see your products online. Even when they want to shop in a store, people research online before they make a purchase decision. In general, online shopping is on the rise. In fact, shoppers go online first in 60% of shopping occasions. But this doesn't mean that all that shopping happens online. A global survey found that 45% of shoppers buy online and then pick up in store. Retailers need to be online because showing products drives sales. 58% of global purchases were prompted by something that the shopper saw online, and people want to know before they go. 46% of shoppers confirm inventory online before they visit a store. Now, those were a lot of stats, but the big takeaway is that you need to get your products online, even if you sell them offline. Did you know that the average online shopping journey has over 140 touch points that influence what people buy and who they buy it from? This slide shows some of the places on Google where these customer interactions can happen for US-based customers. It includes Google Search and Images, a business profile on Google, the Shopping tab, shopping ads, and experimental places like Google Lens. So how do you do it? How can you get your product to appear on Google? Let's start with your business profile on Google using a tool called Google My Business. For anyone who isn't familiar with Google My Business, here's a quick overview. Google My Business is a tool that lets you create a free business profile on Google. A business profile helps your business stand out on Google Search and Maps. Google My Business is an option for businesses that make in-person contact with customers, either at a physical store or in a specified service area. On this slide, you see a business profile for a retailer called The Spice House. It includes details about their Chicago store, such as their physical address, their phone number, description of the business, and more. The slide also highlights a detail that appears in their profile: products. In this example, the featured product is the Essential Spices collection. You can see a product photo, a name, a price range, and more. And if you click on the product, it reveals even more details. Once you create or claim your business profile on Google, you can add products too. I'll show you how in the next few slides. Before you can use many of Google's products and services, including Google My Business, you need to be signed into a Google account. A Google account is free. If you have a Gmail address or if your business uses Google Workspace, formerly known as G Suite, it's automatically a Google account. If you get email another way, you can register your existing email address as a Google account at google.com/accounts. If your business or employer uses Google Workspace, you may have an email address that doesn't look like a Gmail address, but it is still a Google account. If you're not sure if your email is Google Workspace or not, check with your team at work. For today's workshop, I'm assuming that you're signed into Google and that you've already created and verified your business profile on Google. If you haven't done that yet, visit google.com/business to get started. Now, access Google My Business on your computer by signing into google.com/business. The dashboard is pictured on this slide. On the left navigation, look for a product or for a link that's labeled products. Now click that to access the product editor. Now you'll follow a few steps. You'll upload a product photo. You will enter the product name and create or choose a category. You have the option to include a price range, description, and a button that can link to a product details page on your website, and click Save. You should allow a few minutes for newly added products to appear online. In the meantime, you can preview how your product will appear to customers by clicking See It on Google. You can click on a product to make changes or delete it at any time. This is what the same product looks like when you click on it from a business profile on Google. You can see all the product information, including a button with the call to action, Learn More. Clicking this button sends you to the product page on the Spice House's website. There's no charge to add these products, and clicks on the products are free too. And that's how you add products to your business profile on Google. But what about all those other places on Google where products can surface? That leads to our next topic, Google Merchant Center. Retailers use Merchant Center to make store and product information available to shoppers across Google. Google Merchant Center is free, and you don't need to advertise to add your products either. However, if you do want to advertise and show shopping ads on Google, you need to first set up a Merchant Center account. More on that in just a bit. So what is Merchant Center? Merchant Center is a free tool that helps you upload store and product data to Google and make it available for Google Shopping, shopping ads, and other Google services. You will add your products in one place, Merchant Center. Then these products are eligible to appear in multiple places across Google. Let's take a look at a few places where you might see them. First, products and extra product information may appear in Google's organic search results. Take a look at the results on this slide. They appear below the images at the top. Those are shopping ads, which I'll talk about later. Google's organic results typically include basic information, a title, a description, and a link. But some results show more. This extra information is called a rich snippet, and it can really help products stand out. On this slide, you see the Spice House's ground fenugreek seeds in the results. It's jazzed up with extra information like a star rating. That's called a review snippet. You also see product details like the price and the availability of these seeds. It's cool, right? By the way, if you want a closer look, you can see a screenshot of this on the follow-along guide. So how can you help Google add that extra information to your products when they appear in Google search results? First, you should talk to your website developer about adding something called structured data markup to your website. In a nutshell, structured data is a labeling system. It's added to your web pages, and the labels help Google and other web platforms automatically understand your website and pull information like product data from the HTML. In this example, one attribute from Merchant Center, the product's availability, is displayed for free in the organic search results. So you can see that the ground fenugreek seeds are in stock. There's a bonus. If you have structured data on your website, it can be used to automatically update products in Merchant Center. We could spend the rest of this workshop talking about technical details, and we won't. But if you want to work on improving how your products can appear in Google's organic results, you should set up Merchant Center and talk to your web developer about structured data on your website. Next, products from Merchant Center can appear for free in the Shopping tab for US searches. To access it, you can search on google.com, then click Shopping at the top to see the results. Or you can visit shopping.google.com. In the results, you see information highlights, and by clicking on the product, you can see more details. You can also see products in Google Images. Do a search on Google and then click Images at the top to see products that match your search, or visit images.google.com and search from there. Now, take a look at the image results. You can tell that the image is connected to a product for sale if it has a product label. That's called a product annotation. It tells you that you can click the product to get more information. Try it. I recommend doing a search on the types of products that you sell to see what shows up in the results. Google Lens. How many of you out there know what that is, and how many of you have tried it? I had heard of it, but it wasn't until I started developing the information for this workshop that I actually tried it out. Using the Google app, you can use your phone's camera to search in a visual way. It's basically like searching with an image, not with words. This is an example of an experimental place where products may appear on Google. I tried it out using a product photo from the Spice House's website. And what do you know? Google Lens suggested similar photos from the Spice House and linked to their corresponding product pages. Now, Google Lens probably won't give your products the same volume of exposure as a regular Google search, but it's another example of how Google tries to show relevant products in places where customers may be looking. If you want to try Google Lens, download the Google app from Google Play for Android devices or the App Store for iPhones. Lens is also available in the camera app of some Android devices, and it's part of the Google Photos app too. Last but not least, Merchant Center helps retailers advertise products on Google. You've probably seen shopping ads. They're more than text ads. They incorporate a product photo, a title, a price, a store name, and more. Shopping campaigns can be used to promote online and local inventory. Local inventory ads help nearby shoppers know what you have in stock, potentially driving more sales to your physical store. In order to run these types of ads, you need a Merchant Center account. Here's the basic process. You will create a Merchant Center account. You will add your products. You will connect Merchant Center to Google Ads, and then you can use shopping campaigns to advertise your products on Google. Here's a high-level overview of how Merchant Center works. You'll start by creating a free account. Next, you will upload those products and then those products can appear across Google. Merchant Center has an online setup guide. It's available at g.co/merchant center setup. That's also linked in the workshop handout, which is available in the resources link above this video. But I'll give you a quick look at the basic setup process. Start by visiting g.co/merchant center. You'll need to sign into Google. If you're already using an account for your business to access services like Google Ads, make sure that you sign in using that same account. Next, you'll enter information about your business, including the business name. That's what potential customers will see with your products when they appear on Google. The country where your headquarters is located or where your business is registered, and your time zone, and that's used for reporting. Now you will tell Merchant Center about the checkout options that apply to your business. There are 3 options. First, selecting on your website means customers see your product listing on Google and then go to your website to buy it. Second, you could select on Google, and that means customers will see your products on Google and buy them there without leaving. In this case, you don't even need a website. You would use a service called Buy on Google to complete the transaction. Last year, Buy on Google announced some big changes that are still in pilot, so stay tuned for more information as it becomes available. And third, if you select at your local store, customers would see your product listing on Google and then be directed to visit your local store to buy it. And you can change these checkout options in your account at any time. Next, you can link Merchant Center to third-party platforms. This can help simplify the setup process for your Merchant Center account. You can see in the screenshot that Shopify is an option. We'll talk about how that platform integrates with Merchant Center in just a bit. You can add more tools and integrations at any time. This is what the overview page looks like inside a Merchant Center account. If you're just setting up Merchant Center, you will see prompts at the top to help you complete setup if more information is required. The left navigation includes products, linking to the area where you can add and manage products. You can go to Performance to see reports, and Growth will suggest additional ways to boost product visibility and sales on Google. If you selected the checkout options for on your website or at your local store, you need to verify your website before products can appear on Google. There are 3 ways to do that. You can use Google Analytics, Tag Manager, or you can add an HTML file to your website. One bonus, if you use Shopify, your website will be automatically verified if it's connected to Merchant Center. Once you have Merchant Center set up, the next step is to add your products. Start by clicking Products in the left navigation. That's what you're going to see the first time. You can choose to add individual products or multiple products, or a combination of both. When you add an individual product, you will enter information about it in Merchant Center. Some fields like title, link, and price are required. There are a lot of optional fields too, including variants. For example, if you sell products with variations like size and color, you can include these variants with the individual product as well. Products that are added individually must be edited individually. You are able to use a combination of individual product uploads and product feeds, and that's how you'll add multiple products. Let's take a quick look at that. A feed is a file that contains all of the information about the products that you sell. The different pieces of information about your product are called attributes. To create a product feed, you will enter some basic information like language. Next, you'll give the feed a name. This is internal, but you want to give it a descriptive name so it's easy for you to identify it later. You'll choose how you want to add products to your feed. And if you're just getting started, one of the easiest ways is using Google Sheets. If you select Google Sheets, Merchant Center will give you the option to use a template or select another spreadsheet if you happen to have a product feed handy. But let's assume that you're starting from scratch. This is what the Google Sheets template looks like before the products are added. As you can see in the detail, each column asks for a product attribute. There's a link to instructions for creating your feed, as well as product feed specifications. Before creating this feed, read through the instructions and the specifications to make sure that you're setting it up correctly. For example, the availability attribute accepts 3 options: in stock, out of stock, and pre-order. That sounds a bit technical, but at the end of the day, you are simply creating a spreadsheet with product information that can appear across Google. Once you complete the Merchant Center setup, your products can appear on Google in many places, including Google Search, Images, Shopping, Shopping Ads, and Google Lens. There's still another important piece we haven't addressed: how to actually sell the products on your own website. Most small business owners use third-party e-commerce platforms to power their online stores, and there are lots of great options out there. Today, I'll introduce one of them, Shopify. You may remember that connecting to Shopify was an option when we looked at the Merchant Center setup. And one handy Shopify feature is that connection, because it means that you can skip a lot of the setup work. The products in your e-commerce store can be directly connected to Google. Now I'll pass this workshop over to Tarek, and he will tell you more about Shopify. Take it away, Tarek.
Thank you so much, Stacia. Hi, everyone. I'm Tarek. I'm a lead in the retail group over at Shopify. So I actually lead a team of 5 who every single day work with small business owners just like you to help them leverage the Shopify platform to grow their customer base, develop better customer relationships, grow their sales, and of course, grow their business. Now, today I want to get things started by first making sure that everyone's up to speed on Shopify, who we are, and why we exist. We'll then spend some time talking about how easy it is for any of you, regardless of your background or knowledge, to be able to easily and quickly get online and start selling your products with Shopify. And the last piece we'll touch on, and I think the one most people are excited for, is how to connect Shopify and Google to make sure that your products are getting found. So to really understand Shopify, you have to start with the mission. And for us, that's to make commerce better for everyone. And the really critical word there is everyone. We believe that every business owner should have the best possible tools to compete and thrive against even the largest and most sophisticated businesses in the world. So today our platform is being used by over 1 million businesses in over 175 countries. And we're only 15 years old, founded and headquartered in Canada. So it's been a remarkable growth story. And for us, our mission is at the core of every single thing that we do. And especially this year, we're really proud to be able to be there, helping and assisting these business owners to not only survive the pandemic, but to pivot and adjust and make some changes to actually gain momentum and come out of it a bit stronger. So why don't we actually take a look at what this looks like? For those of you who aren't familiar, what you're seeing on screen right now is an actual Shopify website for the business Spice House. Now you may notice a few different things. The site looks great, super professional, easy to navigate. All the pages load very, very quickly. Some other important things to notice here: this site's actually going to show up on Google. And like all Shopify sites, it's designed to convert at the highest possible rate. So what that means, it generates the most conversions, the most sales per visitor to your site. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Every site at Shopify has been designed with this exact goal in mind, to generate the most possible sales. Now, for some of you, when you're looking at this, and we have a lot of conversations with retailers and business owners just like yourself, you're probably thinking, wow, I have no idea how to do this, or I likely have to pay someone, or I have a contractor who takes care of this. Or maybe you're like my parents and you're thinking, my son or daughter is going to figure this out for me. And hopefully you have that. But the thing is with Shopify, it's designed so that you don't need it. So let's take a look. If any of you here right now went to shopify.com, this is the exact page you're going to see. You can log in from anywhere at any time on any device, as long as you have that internet connection. And it's really important to point this out that it's cloud-based, it's web-based. If you open this up in the store, if you open this up at home, if you open this up on a beach in Costa Rica, you're going to see the exact same dashboard and you're going to manage your business the exact same way. Now let's go ahead and create an account. Now in the setup, what you're going to see is some simple questions. Now Shopify is designed to be used by individuals who don't have the computer science background, as I mentioned. So during setup, it's step-by-step hand-holding in really simple terms that anyone can understand. There's no technical jargon here to make sense of. You answer simple questions and Shopify makes sure that it sets up your store in the exact right way for you. Now, once you've worked through the setup, I think there's something like 10 questions there, maybe a few more depending on the type of business you have. The first page you're going to see is this admin dashboard. And this, to me, is really the central cockpit where you're going to do everything in your business. If you're making adjustments to your site, if you're adding new products, if you're fulfilling orders, if you're creating an email marketing campaign, it all happens right here. And there's some pretty critical things that all of you want to do, which is specify your payment, delivery, and pickup options, your tax settings, terms of service, and return policy. That's really table stakes stuff that you want to take care of. But what I want to focus on in this conversation today is likely the most important thing for all of you, which is getting your products online quickly. And when we talk about products in Shopify, these can be physical goods. They are for the most part, but you may even sell digital products like a course or a consultation, or maybe you sell services. Regardless, you can add your products here. And the great thing is when you add your products into Shopify, they're automatically going to be ready to be published and sold across all of your different channels right away. And I'll show you that for the Google channel in just a second. Now, when you are adding your products, if you're an established business, maybe you have an Excel file, a CSV with all of your products, you can upload this in bulk, or perhaps you can pick an app. There's a bunch that allow you to move your inventory over quite easily. But let's say you're adding a new product for the first time, or maybe you're Spice Route and you just sourced a brand new spice. Let's go ahead and hit Add Product. Now this page here, I hope it's not rocket science to anyone, but there's some really critical things you want to put on your products: a picture of the product, a description, the product name, the price. You may even include tags. This spice goes great in this type of curry. And if you buy this other spice, you'll likely want to get this one as well. So I can tag it, and this later can drive how I execute my marketing campaigns and how I engage with each of my customers on a one-on-one basis. So after you're done entering the product name, the picture, the description, the tags, whatever information you want to include here, of course, the price, this product is ready to be published across all the different sales channels, including the Google channel. So let's actually take a look at how you can connect the Google channel with Shopify. Now, Shopify is going to allow you to reach your customers wherever they happen to be, whether that's on your website, in store, different social networks, or marketplaces. And Shopify is going to allow you to manage all of those different channels. Now, one of the most critical ones that you want to go ahead and add is the Google channel. There's a few different reasons. First, Google is where people go to look for things online. So this is going to allow your products and your site to be found right there. The second thing is it's totally free. So it's not going to cost you anything to have your products there. And the last piece is that this is going to sync in real time with your Shopify account. So the changes you make, products, customers, or campaigns, you can make them in Google or in Shopify and know it's going to update in real time on the other side. Now, in order to set up the Google channel, you definitely need to have a Google account and email address. So if you don't have one, you can create that right inside of the Google channel. Now, there's some things you have to take care of when you are connecting Shopify and Google to make sure that it works properly. So the first, of course, make sure your Shopify store is set up online and published. The second thing is to make sure that you've added payment and contact information for the business, along with your refund policy and terms of service. And lastly, make sure that you've selected the actual countries and currencies that you want to sell in. And once all the store requirements are met, you're going to go ahead and set up your product sync or your product feed. Now you'll need a Merchant Center account to do this. So click on the Get Started button to create a Merchant Center account. Now this will take you to a page where you can actually connect the Google Merchant Center within the Google channel. Now, if you don't have an account, you can create one right there. But the great news is the Google channel imports your existing product data right from Shopify into the Merchant Center. So the ground Jamaican allspice berries product that we were adding for Spice House, the Google channel will automatically have that data. You don't have to enter it twice or worry about any mistakes. And once you link the Merchant Center, nothing is quite syncing until you select your target market and country that you'll sell in, along with your shipping settings. And finally, the last thing you're going to want to do is connect your Google Ads account to get started with smart shopping campaigns. So these are really paid ad campaigns that show up all across the Google network. You'll be familiar with their properties, YouTube, Gmail, Google. It's basically the whole internet. And the most incredible thing is all you have to do is set up your products and set your budget. And Google is going to figure out automatically how to put your products in front of the right people at the right time in the right place. So to wrap things up, I want to leave you all with a thought because, at Shopify, and I think Google as well, we've designed these tools and platforms to be as easy as possible. So for you, you don't actually have to be good to get started. You just have to get started to be good. Back to you, Stacia.
Thanks, Tarek. Before we start the Q&A, I'd like to share just a few more resources. First, Grow My Store. Grow My Store is a free Google tool designed for retailers who sell online, in-store, or both. As long as you have a website, it can analyze and assess the website's customer experience. The report evaluates a range of factors, such as the product information, store details, personalization, the shopping experience, and website performance. The tool also measures how fast your website loads, its mobile friendliness, and if it uses HTTPS. You can receive a personalized report and tips on how to make improvements. Try it out by visiting g.co/growmystore. If you want to watch a 3-minute video tutorial about Grow My Store, visit the Grow with Google Quick Help playlist. That's available at g.co/grow/quickhelp. You'll want to look for the video titled, "How Can I Improve My Retail Website?" Next, another free Google tool called Local Opportunity Finder. This tool helps small business owners improve their presence on Google Search and Maps by analyzing their business profile on Google. You can try Local Opportunity Finder by visiting g.co/local-opportunity. If you want a video tutorial, head back to the Grow with Google Quick Help playlist and watch the video titled, "How Can I Get the Most Out of My Business Profile on Google?" And again, the URL to that playlist is g.co/grow/quickhelp. You can also continue your education with Grow with Google on Air. This free resource can help you grow your digital skills no matter where you're located. Through online workshops, you can learn skills that help you stay connected and productive while working or managing a business remotely. Visit g.co/growonair to learn more. This screenshot shows what the website looks like and how it displays upcoming and on-demand workshops, including titles and dates. On behalf of the entire Grow with Google team, thank you so much for joining us for today's workshop. Now I'll pass things over to my colleague Basim, who will answer some of your most frequently asked questions.
Thanks, Stasia. Hey everyone, I'm Basim, one of the instructors here at Grow with Google, and I'm going to answer some of the questions you've asked throughout the session. Remember, if we don't get to your questions, we'll be going back and answering all the questions on the Grow with Google on-air page below the virtual event shortly after it concludes. Okay, all right, let's get started. First question here is from Taylor in Owensboro, and Taylor wants to know, do I need a designer or developer to use Shopify? No, you don't need to be a designer or developer to use Shopify. You can easily customize the look and feel of your store with Online Store Builder and the themes. You can also add additional features and functionality to your store using any of the 4,000 plus apps that are available in the App Store. All right, next question here is from Omar in Clifton. Omar wants to know, how much does Shopify cost? Well, Omar, you can actually try Shopify free for 14 days, no credit card required. After that trial expires, then you can choose pricing that basically suits the size and stage of your business. The plans range anywhere from $29 to $299 per month. Next question is from Yusuf in Dayton. Yusuf wants to know, how do I get started with shipping, and do I have to ship items myself? Well, no, you don't need to ship items yourself, although you can if you want to. You have the option to use third-party fulfillment services to prepare and ship your orders for you. If you want to learn more, I would check out the Help Center article on shipping fulfillment in Shopify. Next question here is from Jennifer in Portland. Jennifer wants to know, can I actually use my Google My Business to sell products online? Well, not exactly. So connecting your Google My Business would allow you to connect the products that you list online to the specific store locations. For example, if you sell toasters, you can list the toasters in free listings. If a customer clicks on the free listing, it would actually take them to your website to complete the purchase. If the toaster that is featured in that listing is available at one of your stores near that customer, they'll actually see annotations that indicate that the product is available X miles away or is in store. If they click on the listing, it still goes to your website where they can purchase online, schedule an in-store pickup, or even find additional store information. Next question here is from Logan in Winslow. And Logan wants to know, if I use Merchant Center, do I need to pay for advertising? Yes, you'll have to pay if you want to advertise your products. However, there are other options available to list your products for free or to let customers buy your products directly on Google with zero commission fees. Next question is from Chris in Arlington. And Chris wants to know, what if I don't have a website? Can I still list my products on Google? Yes, you can still list your products and let your customers buy your products directly on Google. You just have to make sure that you want your customers to check out on Google during that Merchant Center setup process. Next question is from Spencer in Springfield. Spencer wants to know, the images I added to Merchant Center aren't displaying. What's wrong? Well, there can be a number of reasons for this, Spencer. It's possible the images were recently changed. They're in an unsupported format. The URL is incorrect, like there's a space somewhere that needs to be removed. So for more information with troubleshooting that, I would go to support.google.com/merchants and then type in the search bar something like fix images that aren't displaying. And that should get you the article you're looking for, Spencer. All right, next question here is from Roderick in Jackson. He says, I have a lot of products in my store. Do I need to add them one at a time in Merchant Center? And then so you can, if you want to add your products individually if you want, but it sounds like you should set up a feed, right? So when we talk about a feed is that file that contains information about your products, and it's the easiest way to upload and manage large numbers of products. And so the onboarding guide that Stasia mentioned in the resources tab, it actually includes a section called Create a Feed. Like she said in the presentation, there are several ways that you can actually create a feed, but if you're just getting started, you might want to try to use the Sheets template included in the Merchant Center account. Next question here is from Carolyn in Portland. And Carolyn says that she has an incomplete business profile and she wants to know, can I still request a postcard? Yes, you'll still need to fill out some basic information. like the business name, the contact information, and the category, but it doesn't have to be a complete profile in order to request that postcard. As you wait for that postcard to come in, though, you may want to finish completing the rest of your profile so that once you actually get verified, your business profile is ready to rock and roll. All right, next question here is from Nettie in Richmond. And she wants to know, can you delete a photo or replace/update existing photo on your business profile? So if that photo was uploaded by a customer, it cannot be removed unless it directly violates Google's policies. If you like to make changes to a photo or video that you uploaded yourself, you can simply click on photos in the Google My Business dashboard and be able to make those edits right from there. Next question here is from Ben in Richardson. He wants to know, can I make business profile for my e-commerce website that does not have a physical address? So unfortunately, you're only eligible for a Google My Business profile if your business either serves customers face-to-face in a physical area or has a physical address. If you strictly do business online, which it sounds like you do, Google My Business isn't quite right for you, simply as it just integrates with Google Maps. Next question here is from Shirley in Fayetteville. And Shirley wants to know, is there a way to lock information on my business profile? I verified the business account, but a user continually striking out my business category and phone number. Since this has happened multiple times, is there anything I can do to keep my information up to date and accurate? So it's important to make sure that even though you're verified, that you are actually listed as the owner of that account. Typically, information that's added by you, the owner, will be prioritized over contributions from other users. Also, make sure that your information is properly listed in other places on the web. And you also want to keep your profile up to date so that Google knows you're offering the most accurate information for your profile. If you're still having issues, you can always contact Google My Business support at support.google.com/business. All right, next question here is from Mocha in Berkeley, and she wants to know, which languages does Shopify support? So